Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Shonen and Chill, hosted by Zenrotto and Oceaniz.
Hello, folks. Nice to be back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. There's no Jujutsu Kaisen this week, so it's only but so good to be back. But
Yeah, well, we'll survive. We'll we'll cope. God, like we haven't started talking about anything. We're already sucking off Gege.
yeah, well, that's contractual
That's the
obligation. You get it out of the way early. You don't have to worry about it later on.
that is true. I mean, obviously at this point, everyone knows we are actually paid off by Gege Akutami's estate to promote his garbage manga. I mean, flawless masterpiece. Um, but yeah, do we have any news? Anything happening?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I've seen.
Yeah, me neither. It's been a very quiet week.
Yeah, just a laid back week in the anime sphere.
Yeah, Hero Fest happened.
Oh,
No
how'd
one
that go?
cared.
Yeah, I was about to say, no one said any of that shit to me, so clearly it wasn't a very
Well,
big deal.
they screened the first episode of the next My Hero season. Apparently, it was all right.
It
Like,
was okay.
yeah, like even the people who watched it were sort of like, it was like half recap, as you do. Like, imagine screening like a recap episode at an event. That has to be kind of bitter.
Yeah, well, it can't be as bad as the people who went to the Chainsaw Man event and like barked and screamed at the stage, and then they were just like, "Okay, anyway," and they left. They didn't show anything.
God, I fucking hate and love Mappa's advertising department because they're so bad at their job. It's actually hilarious. Like it's same shit happened with Attack on Titan season 4. The same shit happened with Jujutsu Kaisen, where they're like they announce something, and then there's like 2 years of complete silence. And in those 2 years, they still announce like events dedicated to this thing, and they never give you any information. Like Jujutsu Kaisen was announced, and then we had to wait a year and a half to figure out who was even making it, and like how long it was gonna be. Like it's so funny every time with Mappa.
Yeah, it's
They're
great because
so
the
obnoxious with
whole
it.
event was there's like, "Who's excited for Chainsaw Man?" And everyone's like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Okay, cool, bye." They just
Good for you.
left. Happy for you.
But yeah, aside from that, I think nothing crazy, nothing new. Oh, we got confirmation that Togashi is coming back for at least 20 chapters when he does come back.
Damn, 20 chapters. That's a lot, actually.
Yeah, because he tweeted out today that he has 10 chapters drafted and he's gonna draft 10 more.
Damn.
So yeah, it's 20 at least. My man's working.
I respect it. I respect it. It's probably
Yeah.
hard to draft 20 chapters when your back doesn't exist.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope he at least has someone helping him with the inking. Because I mean,
I'm sure
obviously
he's got assistance. You think he didn't tell
I
Shonen Jump, "Hey, I want to put out 20 chapters of Hunter x Hunter," and they didn't throw every single person they had at him?
oh my god, maybe that was why the editor change happened with every series. They're like, our most veteran editors go to this apartment over in Tokyo and just work. Whatever he
Whatever
says,
he
do it.
says, you do it.
If he asks you to grind Dragon Quest enemies for 20 hours, by God, make it 23. Not honestly, Togashi's real for that. I would skip work for Dragon Quest as well.
Yeah. Not only would I skip work for Dragon Quest, I would skip work if I couldn't sit for more than like 10 minutes.
Well, yes, of course. All right. Enough flirting. What's your top three this week?
Oh man, this week I think my number 3 was My Hero. My number 2 was Blue Box, and my number 1 was Undead Unluck.
All right. Um, my number 3 was Akane-Banashi. My number 2 was Undead Unluck, and my number 1 was My Hero.
Okay, so reasonably similar. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
bother doing too much math on figure out exactly the right placements for these, but
all fine.
yeah. All right, so our first one is Dragon Ball Super.
More like Dragon Ball Pooper. Ha! Got him.
Got him.
See y'all.
Got
See
him.
y'all next week.
Play the exit tunes.
Yeah. Wow. This was a chapter. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Shit happened. I don't care. Susanoo Goku came back, and that's funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. Dude, this chapter had a double spread. That's a rarity for Super.
That's true. Yeah,
Not,
he doesn't do this very often.
yeah, not only that, but it was a good double spread. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's straight up plagiarized from Dragon Ball. But it's still
The
good.
one of the bullet, the blast from
Yeah.
Granola.
Like 39, 38.
Yeah, that does look very familiar. But then again, it's also Dragon Ball, so
That is true. I guess what tipped me off was the way sort of you have that explosion around his hands and then it sort of fans out into a beam in the far corner. That's something I feel like Toriyama used to do more than Toyotaro.
yeah,
So
that's
I don't know. It
definitely
just
a Toriyama thing. But I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, hey, if the fight's over, that's cool. But honestly, at this point, who cares?
Yeah, I'm begging you that the fight's over, please.
Yeah, I mean, paneling was good. Susanoo Goku is fun. But wow, yeah, we've been fighting this fucking guy for a hot minute, I feel like.
Yeah, way too long for some dude that nobody gives a shit about.
Mm.
But we got a panel of Susanoo Goku hurling someone into space, so it can't be but so bad.
That's also true. But yeah, I'm gonna give it the customary whatever out of 10.
It sure did exist out of 10. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving into actual stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is Earthchild.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, baby. It's exactly what we said we didn't want to have happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I stand by what I said. I got what I needed out of the manga, so I'm not too miffed. But wow, this is an interesting way to like just move forward.
Boy, the little girl we were praying wasn't real, just descended from the sky.
What's up, fuckers?
What's up, fuckers?
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess this is what we got now, and it's, I mean, if this is sort of the author's excuse to go like full battle shonen, I'm fine as long as it's cool battle shonen, I guess, because the parent story was, as I said, all it needed to be, in my opinion. And so having them now take the backseat and be sort of more like the supporting cast for our shonen protagonist, sure. I'm for that. But at least within this chapter, it was very sort of, oh no, quick, look at this cool shit, so I don't get canceled.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm with you that the story of getting Carrie back was really great, and now I just don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, Teenage Mamoru is alright. Like, he does have a little more spunk than some more meek manga protagonists that I feel like are more common these days. But still, I don't know. Not crazy about it.
Yeah, I don't have anything positive to say, and I don't want to shit on it too hard, but like it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I mean, the Carrie ass panels are still going strong.
Yes,
so the
they
series
are. Okay, yeah, there is some positive in here.
Exactly. So the series hasn't completely lost it. It still understands its target audience. Me.
Ass people.
Me.
The ass men.
Oh no, my app has crashed. Now now my goldfish memory will not be able to remember anything about these chapters.
Well,
I can deadass not open anything anymore.
That's actually a fantastic segue into unmemorable. The next one here, Aliens Area.
I can deadass not remember what happened. I need this shit to work. Wait, is it the one? Is it? Wait, okay, don't tell me. It's they like. No, actually, no. It's the one where they go like into the rice fields.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. Perfect.
They go into the rice fields, and then he's like, another alien, and they're like, nah, some aliens are cool. This one's nice, and they talk to him, and then he's like, okay, bye, and that was it.
Right. Okay. I'm surprised I could even remember the rice fields, to be honest.
Yeah, nothing
I
really happened. We learned that
yeah,
some aliens are nice, but we already knew that. So
but I will say I do like that aspect of it. I also like that not all aliens are like huge monsters. Some of them are like parasites
yeah, just
that
like
are just sort of
little dudes.
they're just sort of bad for the crops. Like, yeah, I feel like that's a good way of sort of um making this feel more than just a battle shonen when it really is just a battle shonen. But you gotta sort of expand yourself a little, give yourself a little more than just that one identity. All right, I've restarted my phone. Maybe my app will fucking work now, so I can actually talk. Oh my god, we have chapters. Okay, my brain is online again.
We've
Let's
done it.
go.
We've
We've
done
done
it.
it. Uh, yeah, flicking through this, nothing really stuck out to me. It's very I don't know. Aliens Era feels like it wants to sort of fill that niche of like the alien battle shonen, but it's spending a lot of time doing anything but.
Mm-hmm. It's doing a whole lot of
Um,
nothing.
yeah. Which the thing is, a chapter like this, I feel like I would love later on in the series to sort of round out. Hey, not all aliens are bad. Not all aliens are like humanoid and evil. Some of them are just people, just
Yeah, just trying
fucking
to get
people.
by. Yeah, but like
Yeah,
feels a little early for that. We fought one guy.
exactly, exactly. Plus, I don't know. At the very least, the panels are not as cramped anymore, I think.
That's just because there was no fight. Next time there's a
Fair
fight, I
enough.
bet it's gonna be just as bad.
When the entire fight will be made out of like the usual number of panels, but they will all be put into one page. It's just a
Oh God,
collage. Where's Waldo? We
that's
don't need
not even
another
that much
where's
harder to read than what it normally is. So
Yeah, well, we don't need another Where's Waldo manga in Jump. We already have one. And to everyone who knows which one I mean is absolutely fucking pissed right now.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So now I'm very curious whenever we reveal.
Do you want do you want me to reveal it?
Yeah, let
Because
me
it's not
hit
in our
me.
lineup. It's a One Piece.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah, like yeah, I'm not gonna shit on One Piece, but yeah, that
Yes,
paneling is
yes, it sure is.
a little sometimes. But anyway, this is not Aliens area, and Aliens area is not interesting. Out of 10.
Not interesting out of 10.
Yes.
Next up is going to be the Elusive Samurai.
This was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fine. It was like a just kind of a celebration, like yay, we did it kind of thing. But it's
Mm-hmm.
cool with the setup of where they're going to go and how like they have a tactician on the other side that's able to like figure out their plans, so it's not just going to be smooth sailing every single time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's very much sort of a like this is an in between chapter basically. It's just sort of hey, we've gotten past like one of the big moments of the series, his
Yeah,
reveal.
it's a bit of a cool down
And
chapter almost.
yeah, yeah. Like I do find it cool that we get to see sort of how this information affects the lands, like because it throughout this entire series now, they've made like a big fuss about his identity. And I feel like this chapter kind of follows up on that in the sense of, hey, look, this is how important this is to most people, and this is how much of an effect it has on like the state of the war. Um, with people bowing and people being in high spirits again, and the enemy immediately taking them a billion times more seriously. I think this is like a nice follow through on that setup that we had throughout the beginning parts of the series. And besides that, yeah, was all right. I'm
Yeah,
interested to see where this goes. Like, I feel like Elusive Samurai has said, "Oh, we're now on the return home,"
I
like
know.
7 times.
It's like the ninth time they've said, and thus the war begins.
You
It's like, well, okay. One of these times it
think
probably will.
you think the series will end with like a text box saying, "But now the real war begins," and that's just gonna be the cliffhanger?
The real war of post war world.
Well, if you know your Japanese history, you know that there was almost always some fucking war going on. So
Like that's just history. Just
fair
anywhere.
enough.
Just fucking all over.
But Japan has an especially colorful one because wars broke out for some of the funniest reasons I've ever read. One time they rebelled against the emperor because the current prince was too gay. As in, he was too invested in poetry and literature and not like masculine enough. And the people didn't believe that he could lead, so they just decided to revolt.
That's my new headcanon for the Elusive Samurai. That's why the war's happening here.
They have to take down the bad guy because he's too gay.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Why do you, as a man, have multiple eyes within your eyes?
To look at other men.
To look at other men? You slut. You harlot.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it is now.
Yes, that is canon. I'm sorry, Yusei Matsui. But this is just what it is now. Please canonize it, or we will sue.
You're now officially plagiarizing our idea if you don't do it correctly.
Oh my god, if we could actually do that, we would have so much of Hori's money. We called All For One being a capitalist, and he just stole it.
Just violently stole it straight from the show.
I can't fucking believe he was my hero. But now...
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I guess it really was not my hero, Academia. This is dog shit. That was a dog shit way to say the title, and it was somehow not quite as bad as the way they actually did it.
The second time they did it was so bad.
As in when Uraraka is screaming from the roofs?
Yes. Yeah. So bad.
That just reminded me of that fucking TikTok of like the middle school girl viciously defending Bakugo from his haters.
If that doesn't sum up the My Hero Academia fan base, I don't know what does. But before we get into too dangerous a topic here.
Yeah, we shall save that up for later.
Yeah. We still have to talk about that series later. Next up is Witch Watch.
Oh, it's alright.
I kind of like the concept of the idea that like he's so well trained that like being unlucky he didn't even notice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's funny when random shit keeps happening. It's like, oh, it's actually good for him. Mm-hmm. But the joke ran out quickly, as it often does in Witch Watch.
Yeah, it tends to not pick its jokes in a way that they can be sustained for 20 pages.
Yeah. And it's just, it's not as bad as some of the other recent ones, but it wasn't anything to write home about. It was Witch Watch.
Yeah, I thought the way, the spell gets miscast is interesting, especially because I'm super curious as to how that worked in Japanese. Because obviously, in English, it comes across as fairly natural. We're like, you'll like it, I swear you will. Fortunate luck. Ill-fortunate luck. Like, okay. But how did that work in Japanese? What was the reasoning there? Because translators cannot change the plot, at least not under current regulations. So, how... I'm just wondering, like, how that functioned.
I don't know.
If Japanese has, like, a similar way of doing this. I mean, I can imagine it does, because Japanese is so full of, like, wordplay and ways to, like, fuck with language with its, syllabic linguistics, but still super interested. I need to see if, like, I think the translator might have a Twitter. I might see if they, like, posted about it. Still
don't out that translator's Twitter. It's gonna get...
Oh no, I won't. I mean,
flooded.
I'm just trying to return back to the days when, Caleb would make those MHA trivia threads before the pitchforks got him. I mean, he used to do Dr. Stone as well, right?
Yeah, those are the ones that I read, the Dr. Stone ones.
Damn. But yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate the joke sort of by itself. I like that Moy's just sort of, oh yeah, that shit's happening, but I'll just sort of deal with it. Um, I thought the panel where like tall, conventionally attractive people look good in practically anything. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair
that was
enough.
yeah, that was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, aside from that, really no thoughts. This was whatever.
Head empty chapter.
Yeah, head empty chapter.
Next up is Mashle.
It was actually really funny. The fucking therapy session. It's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen.
And he's just like, what is it? The puddingology?
Yeah. Concentrated sugars will take all your troubles away.
And I like when he ate the pudding and it like made him sick, and Lance was like, "You deserved every second of this." Oh, it's good.
And then we get to the other guy who's just a fucking dude, bro.
Yeah. I forgot
Big
this guy was just
chillin'.
like a college frat, bro.
Fucking big chillin'.
Big chilling while he's fucking got hookah right there.
It's... Bro, like, why so serious? God, the translators must have had so much fun here. Also, Finn's panel, oh no, a weirdo. I'm gonna get so much use out of this. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's really good.
But yeah. This is good shit again. Because it's leaning onto its strengths, which is just being fucking ridiculous with characters that are kind of like funny to follow. When he's fucking partying around and he's just saying slam that juice. This is so fucking stupid. But yeah, we're still doing the fucking
the key.
yeah, the key
we're
gag.
still doing the key. That's getting kind of old now.
I mean,
at
it's
this
been
point,
old
just
for a
stop
minute.
showing him. Just stop showing him. We know he's getting keyed. Just let him not be on the page for a while.
Yeah, give me more panels of frat boy.
Yeah, give me more weird pudding therapy. I also like how Finn was like, all right, that's it. We're a team. I gotta pull my weight, and then he gets thrown out of the way by his brother.
Yeah, and also during like the therapy session, God, I love how the guy is like sincerely trying to help him. He's like, "Oh yeah, I understand your troubles." It's so stupid.
That's all very true. He's just sitting down with him and making him tea. Oh god. I also like how the battle that starts at the end here is literally just magically throwing spears.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like their magic is just chucking spears at each other.
Another thing I really like is the way we actually get to the therapy scene was like, dude, you're our enemy. Let's all be reasonable. Why don't we talk? Next panel, they're doing therapy over tea. God, that's so funny.
And I like how Lance is not shown at all during this until the very end after he eats the pudding. So he's just been standing there watching this therapy session happen the whole time.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for Mashle to do things again instead of just sort of stall.
Yeah. I'm glad there's actual combat with characters that I know.
That's yes, good. Exactly. All right. Are we moving on?
Yep, we can jump ahead to Sakamoto Days.
It was all right.
Yeah,
like, I wasn't super hot.
Not a ton really going on, which is fine. I liked the reveal at the end that the old lady was the one. After Shin gets his cool moment, he gets fucking slammed by this old lady. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But the rest of it was mostly just, like, setting up future conflict and stuff, which they have to do, obviously, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't uneventful in a bad sense. It was just sort of very much like a foundation chapter. Like
Yeah.
also at the very start when we get sort of the like the job descriptions and stuff. I I like the test subjects, where it's like always looking for applicants. I wonder why. Self-reducing workforce is what we call that.
I
But
also
yeah,
like there was the spotters one. That one of the perks is no license required.
oh yeah, makes sense, I guess. Get referred by a sniper senpai. What a line.
Yep. And I did think Shin's moment was pretty cool, where he
Yeah.
dodges the gunfire blindfolded and then knocks that dude the fuck out. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah. Again, sort of very action movie-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of, oh, show up the nasty sub teacher.
As
Um,
Sakamoto does.
yes. But yeah, I'm already out of things to say on this one. Like it really was just sort of a good chapter.
Right, so the next up is Chainsaw Man.
Which is chapter 2 of part 2.
Chapter Dos, part 2 of Chainsaw Man.
Yes, not the one that released like literally 10 minutes ago.
No, not that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I like War. She seems pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it too. It's the whole thing is pretty cool. I like the deal where like War will relinquish her body back to her if they kill Chainsaw Man, which we don't. But that seems not like it's gonna. I mean, obviously Chainsaw Man's not gonna die, but also the deal seems quite fake.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like the fact that her power only works on things that are hers, that like she claims.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. What's interesting to me is also that the dynamic War has now with Mitaka is the dynamic I initially expected Denji to have a Pochita when I first started Chainsaw Man. I thought, because, oh, he's fusing with the devil, there's gonna be like some, oh, I need your power now, like some Naruto Nine Tails bullshit happening. And we didn't get that in part 1, so it's interesting that we're getting it now in part 2 with Mitaka and War. And also, I think this chapter's big thing, Yoshida is back, our first reoccurring character.
Mm-hmm.
He was the octopus devil, right? Or he had
Yes, I think so. Octopus Man.
yes. And yeah, so far it's very much just setting up this conflict of like, oh, we're gonna like meticulously try and pinpoint Denji in this school.
Yeah,
Which
it's very interesting to have. We're 2 chapters in now. We haven't even seen him once. I'm curious as to what the general consensus is from people about having part 2 not really revolve around Denji, at least not yet.
yeah, I mean, I feel like with another author, I'd be a little worried, but Fujimoto, especially with his short stories, has shown that he's really good at just isolating narratives and doing shit that is not connected. So I personally think it's a good thing that we're seeing this from a different perspective. Because I feel like it'll also give us like a fresh look at Denji from the eyes of someone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to sort of being stuck in his head like we were in part 1. So yeah, I'm cool with it. I don't know what, as you said, I don't know what the consensus is for it.
Also,
But
the memes
yeah,
that
no.
came out of this chapter are really good about how hopeless simp Denji has absolutely no chance. When her power is that if you like me, I can kill you, basically.
Yes, actually, I hadn't
that
even thought about
Denji's
that.
fucked. Yeah, it's so good.
You think Fujimoto's gonna have Denji bark as a reference to the lovely fans of the series?
I hope not.
I
Maybe.
kind of hope he does. That'd be funny as hell. Um, but yeah, I'm feeling Chainsaw Man Part 2. It's a slow burn so far. And I suspect it's gonna stay one for a while because, like, of course, we had the crazy fight in Chapter 1,
Right.
but that I feel like was by that was sort of a big showpiece moment. But now Chapter 2 is very quiet. I've read Chapter 3 already, and I can say that's also fairly quiet.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it because too, like the setting of the original Chainsaw Man was literally like, "Hey, we're gonna go and kill this fucking thing," whereas
Yeah.
this one is much more like investigative because like we know who Chainsaw Man is, but the lead does not, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's a lot of like poking around and just trying to one blend in and two solve this mystery, so it's
Mm-hmm.
not quite the same like in your face action.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't mind. I think that's actually really cool. It's a nice
Yeah, I agree.
change of pace. But yeah, no, I'm interested to see where this goes. I really hope that when Denji does appear, that it's like a big moment. Actually, no, I want it to either be a big moment or be completely out of left field.
I feel like he's literally just gonna walk into a scene at some point and just be like, "Oh
And
hey."
no, and no one's gonna acknowledge it.
Oh my god, that would fucking kill me if they like the only time Denji shows up in the first 20 chapters is like chapter 7 where he's just in the hallway walking past as she's
Mhm.
trying to figure out who Chainsaw Man is and it's clearly him and he just doesn't show up other than that.
Like on this, yeah, because that'll be interesting. Because obviously Fujimoto needs to sort of balance that really carefully. Because you know, mysteries where the audience knows the answer but the people in it but the characters don't is something that's hard to balance because you have to make sure that it doesn't become tedious,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it can get annoying when they're like, oh, who's Chainsaw Man, and Denji's over there eating a sandwich.
Yeah, he's just sitting right there. Yeah. And again, you have to
They're
keep this new character likable for people who are waiting for what they wanted out of a part 2 in
Mhm.
regards to our recurring characters from the first part. So it's going to be interesting
Yeah.
to see how he handles it going forward. I have not read chapter 3 yet. I'm going to do it after we are finished, but I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to it immensely.
Right. But okay. Do we move on?
Yeah, I think we're in top 3 territory now since we had one different, so that puts us at
Mhm.
4. So that's going to be which one to use first, fuckers. Akane-Banashi.
Akane-Banashi. Let me open it so I remember what happened.
It's in your
I
top
just
3.
I just need to like kickstart my memory. Right, this is this one. Okay. No, I really liked again, what I think Akane-Banashi has been doing really well these past couple of chapters is instead of showing the entire Rakugo, just sort of give us the gist of it.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, why is this working? Why isn't this working? And this is a great example where it's like she's being kind of boring, but in a good way. She's like bringing the energy sort of back down a little, relaxing people, making herself interesting and soothing to listen to. Like I really like that aspect to it. That idea that as a performer, sometimes it's better to know when not to seek attention.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I also like that they acknowledge that this is not just her only game plan; that she has something still up her sleeve. So I'm assuming like when in the final recitation of the big name, she might like suddenly like keep going with the tempo and get people invested.
Mm-hmm. And I
So
like
yeah,
the way that they use this to kind of emphasize how like talented she is because the other people, the two people that everyone assumes are like the front runners, have no idea why she's doing it. And it's
mm-hmm.
only like the experienced students who are picking out that like this is an intentional choice to work the audience back up because the audience is already checked out. Like
Mm-hmm.
and you're not going to wow them the same way. But meanwhile the other
Yeah,
two are like, "Oh wow, I can't believe she just gave up. That's crazy."
yeah. Well, I think with the other two also there come, or at least that's the impression I got. It's like they don't want to believe that there is another reason. Like they want to convince themselves that Akane has just given up because somehow they're at least a little bit, or they were a little bit afraid of her when she made her first appearance with Jugemu. And I also really like that we get like this callback to her days as a in the service industry, you know, as a waiter.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're like, oh yeah, it's just like this is one of the most important skills in Rakugo, figuring out what the people want and be ready to do it. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, really just for that reason, that it's uh telling us in very concrete ways why this abstract like art form needs to be done in this way under this current condition. Like again, to me, I'm still flabbergasted at the fact that I'm invested in a story about Rakugo.
Yeah, about of all things, Rakugo.
Yeah, something I've never seen in person, something I've never seen even a recording of, but I'm still really interested now. Because it's less about the specifics of Rakugo and more sort of in a more general, as sort of as a more general story about entertainment, about being a performer, and as a theater kid, I obviously appreciate that quite a bit.
Get behind that. Hashtag theater kid.
Ah, dude, my theater kid phase was terrible. I apologize for anyone who knew me during that.
You heard it here first. If you watch the show, and you also knew him when he was a theater kid,
If
public
you knew me
apologies are due.
If you knew me while I was a theater kid, you may be eligible for a compensation. Call your lawyer right now.
Oh god.
But yeah, Akane-Banashi, very good. I'm looking forward to seeing how she does next chapter because I'm assuming that's the big one
Yeah,
for this like
probably.
tournament.
Yeah. The climax chapter, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
All
It's
right.
also
Next up.
funny to say for Rakugo.
Yes, it is. Next up is Blue Box.
Fuck, my app closed. Give me a second.
They go to the concert,
Yes, right.
and Chinatsu says something,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't hear it, and she refuses to repeat it because she's very embarrassed, and I am dying to know what she said.
Yeah, so uh why was this in your top 3? Because I thought this chapter was actually one of my least favorites in a while.
I'm very big on this concert scene. I thought the whole concert scene was really cute. Um, I actually kind of like the little moment where she tries to be brave and the moment gets ruined by just happenstance and she can't bring herself to do it a second time.
Mm-hmm.
That's shit that's like, yeah, it's a little cliche, but it's like, man, the shit it goes so hard though. I need to know what they said to one another.
Yeah, me
After the
too.
concert, it kind of falls off for me. I don't really care about like, uh-oh, now they're gonna have to kiss in the play. Like, I called that a long time ago. And it's like the
Yeah,
most cliche thing that could have possibly happened is the person got sick or whatever. Or hurt. Yeah, they got hurt. And now we need someone to play the prince, and obviously the only one that can do it is Taiki. Um,
mm-hmm.
but this concert goes so hard. Every page of their little like get together, where they're just kind of trying, but also not trying to like eye each other while they're sitting here having a good time. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, good shit. This is quality, awkward. How do I express emotions? Teenage shit right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. That part is good. I'm really disappointed that Blue Box is going this hard on the tropes in a single chapter because we have two of, in my opinion, the most annoying tropes for rom-coms in the same chapter.
Yeah, I'm very much not a fan of the stars aligned to force Taiki to play the prince in this play.
Yeah.
Not really
I mean,
feeling that. I don't mind the other one, the interrupted by the music one, because that's
yeah.
like that's some shit that while it is tropey could actually like happen with semi
Mm-hmm.
regularity. Whereas like, oh my god, the planets came together and Sonic the Hedgehog broke this woman's leg, so she can't play the prince anymore. Is like not something that is gonna
Yeah.
that's like Fantasyland stuff. But like trying to talk at a concert to someone and they can't hear you, and then you don't want to repeat yourself because you don't know if they didn't hear you or if they like you don't have it in you to say it a second time. Like that's shit that happens.
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, the sort of important confession or whatever being interrupted by a loud noise and then being impossible to recreate it is really common in manga for some reason, more so than in any other medium I've seen. So seeing it here in a series that so far has been fairly conscious of trying to avoid the big tropes, I don't know, it kind of took me out of it a little.
I can see that. I
Uh,
can see that. Yeah, for me, it was the actually okay. I actually did find after the concert, I found the fortune telling bit funny, where he's very dramatically like you're going to have a horrible ordeal. I thought that was funny.
uh Yeah, that's just fun too.
Yeah, that was just a funny little reaction page right there. But yeah, the play stuff, not too into it. Um, I don't know. That feels more like it's gonna be a shoehorned conflict between them as opposed to like an actual one. Because oh
Mm.
no, she's coming to see the play, and now I have to kiss what's her name, and it's the whole thing. It's like whatever.
Actually, speaking of the whole like stars aligned thing, do we have time and energy for a certified Ocean's anecdote?
Okay.
So theater kid, we were doing like a play, like a traditional German medieval thing, and I got actually casted as the prince in question, and the girl I was keen on at the time got casted as the titular princess. And you would think, oh yeah, stars have aligned, but then the stars aligned further, and the director decided, you know what, we're gonna recast everyone in every scene. And so the princess in my scene was someone completely different.
Oh,
It's okay.
did you dirty?
Halfway through they decided that instead of kissing, we should beat each other up. So that was fun.
Oh,
That was great.
okay.
So, folks, if you wanna experience beating people up in public, don't go to bars. Become a theater kid.
Become a theater kid. No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. Hey, I got to like yell at people and hit people with like a foam sword. It was great.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad. Could be worse.
Yeah. I had a horrible haircut and like a terrible like trench coat on. That was actually the worst. But you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes you don't always come out on top.
Nope. Sometimes they recast everyone when
Sometimes they recast your princess at the last minute.
yes. Sometimes they decide, you know what, the cast should change every 5 minutes. Wouldn't that be goofy?
Wouldn't that be nice and silly?
Hey, I got to bond with all the other guys who got cast as princes. That was pretty cool. But yeah, that's the anecdote. That's it.
All right. In that case, we can move on to My Hero Academia.
It was a pretty good chapter. I'm actually sort of enjoying my hero again these days.
Damn, it's crazy how the minute Mirio shows up, he's immensely useful and helpful in the way that everyone said that he would be. But they decided not to use him anyway.
Yeah. I mean, again, it just sort of emphasizes to me that this was supposed to be his actual return.
Yeah, it would have been so much. Not to beat a dead horse that we were talking about last week, but it would have been such a better return if it was just right here.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Mirio, he also has the funniest comeback to anything ever.
Yeah, oh,
Oh
you
my god.
fucking nerd. You like how about you get some friends?
Yeah, I mean, I saw someone make the argument that while it is unintentional, it is pretty funny that every time Shigaraki has like this big speech, because he's done that a few times now, about how the Hero Society is rotten. Every time, the only answer he gets is, "Oh, so you don't have friends, or you don't have you don't have compassion in your life." And it's interesting, if I remember the tweet correctly, they were saying that it's interesting that you can have someone have like a fairly accurate sort of critique of the system they're in, and the only responses they get are like appeals to emotion or dismissal. And I thought, hey, that's 100% not intentional, but it is pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely supposed to read that like they're right and he's wrong, but it
Yes.
doesn't feel that way.
Nope. Also, oh my god, if Mirio gets to be the one who awakens Shigaraki back to like his normal self because he calls him a friendless virgin.
Touch some grass, virgin. All for
Yeah.
one, destroyed.
All for One has like this big speech about the economy or some gay shit, and Mira's just like L plus ratio plus you get no bitches.
And then you just see him slowly dissolve like the
Yeah.
fucking snap, and Shigaraki's back.
Oh my god, though, if this leads Shigaraki to think about twice, I might actually forgive Mirio for this line.
You
Like,
mean if twice is acknowledged beyond being a weapon for Toga?
yeah, like if this leads to Shigaraki sort of starting to wrestle back control, fuck man, that'll be a monkey's paw moment. Cause I would be so fucking happy it happened, but why the fuck did it have to be through Mirio?
Through Mirio of all people, this late.
Yeah. But either way, I like this chapter despite how much I bitch about it. Like I like Nejire and Tamaki getting to do shit. I like that they got to do some cool shit. It didn't feel like they were jobbing. Like those were fucking uh they were fucking shooting to kill here.
Yeah,
Like Tamaki
actually
with the
getting to
scorpion
fight.
tail. Yeah. Um and I like Bakugo's bit at the end where it's like, oh, he's still fighting, he's still like analyzing the fight. Um since we are in the end game, what do you think are the chances that Bakugo does actually bite the big one?
You mean like because his sweat's exploding there, and you think he's gonna like full body kamikaze it?
I don't know, just something.
Maybe. I don't know. I
Like if
would
you're
be very surprised if the Nintendo 64 hospital were to ever let anyone die.
fair enough.
Dr. Mario's cred is not gonna get tarnished by Bakugo.
They bring in Bakugo in pieces, and you're just like, woohoo, we're gonna solve this.
Swings the little cape and twirls them all together, and they just reconnect.
Woohoo, get me anesthesia. No, actually, you know how Bakugo is going to die? He's gonna explode himself into pieces. They're gonna bring them to Dr. Mario, and he's gonna be halfway through stitching them back together when he realizes Bakugo doesn't have insurance. And he's just gonna tear him apart again.
It's gonna rip him back apart. Bakugo's card was declined. Just starts snipping the stitches.
He's just about to heal. The card declines, and Dr. Mario shoots him in the gut.
Taking back your health.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm wondering what it is that he's like figuring out now, because he's like talking about a feint on the right side and like finger or whatever. So I'm wondering like if that's gonna like come into how Bakugo does anything, right? Like at this point, I don't think they're gonna do any major damage to Shigaraki, but
like
they'll
he's
be
like
able
a
to.
mission command kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe because I read that as just him analyzing what was going on, and like, oh, that's a feint. This is coming this way. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Because he kind of that's like, didn't he do a similar thing when he fought Deku and he was like lecturing him about like why his feints were shitty?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it'll be something like that again. But we will have to see, I guess. I also really like the art this chapter. Like Hori really is flexing on anyone who doesn't know how to draw fingers.
Yes. Also, for some reason, they have mouths now.
Yeah, which is cool because this is actually like, I don't know if it's a reference or a straight up like continuation of have you ever seen the All Might Rising OVA?
I sure haven't.
Where you get to see Nana versus All for One, or a little bit of it at least.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, because that's like it was a special chapter turned into an OVA for the first movie. And there, All for One, while he's fighting, he's like turning buildings into these weird tentacles with mouths.
Huh.
And they look kind of like these. So it's cool to see that that's like consistent across both wielders of All for One, that that's like a thing they can do, I guess.
Well, it sounded like Shigaraki just chalked it up to like, haha, I'm evolving. Because obviously the end game of human evolution. This is between what's between regular humans and fucking Tengen. It's crazy finger mouths.
You know what? That's not even that. That doesn't even sound that wrong. Because honestly, this does kind of look like the middle point between Tengen and us.
Just a
Like it's
human
just.
and weird ass Master Tengen is just that's why he looks like a thumb with a mouth.
Oh, I see.
See? Yeah, it's all coming together.
Damn. That one like cinema visit Gege and Horikoshi had together really must have gone hard.
Yeah, that was the day they both got COVID. Really changed everything.
Also, how can Mirio hold Nejire's wave?
I don't know. Um,
I'm glad
I
we're on the same page.
it's just wind, right? That's her whole thing. Is she just shoots wind?
No, it's not wind. It's life energy.
Oh, okay. I thought it was air that she was doing that with. That makes even less sense then, because at least like if it was guided air, he could at least if he was moving fast enough, he could like generate something. I don't know, man.
I mean, because the thing is, Nejire's quirk uses her life energy to turn it into like kinetic spirals of energy that she does not have all that much control over them, at least not at the time when the quirk is like described. Because one thing they say there is that the biggest weakness of this quirk is that because they're spirals, they move very slowly for a projectile. But she might have just overcome it because it looks like she actually like when she does her pike attack, it looks like she's like compressing them into a faster attack. So I
And
don't
she's
know.
also able to twist it out of the way
Mm.
to avoid hitting Bakugo. I have no idea how Miria is able to just wear it like a bracelet and then shoot it. I don't know.
He can just do that. He has supreme fashion sense. Anything I want becomes my clothes. That's his real quirk. But yeah, I don't know. Either way, cool chapter. I'm interested to see what Bakugo does next. It would be fucking hilarious if he actually dies. After, years of that joke existing.
Of
That would be
the
so
Kirishima,
funny.
I'm sorry, Bakugo's dead.
Yeah. That would be so fucking funny.
Oh god. I'd be
Because
there
in the
for it. I'm not
war,
gonna lie, I'd be there for it. I'd sign
yeah,
up.
yeah, because I mean, it feels like my hero needs a major death at this point. Like, I'm very much not in the camp of, oh, deaths make a story better inherently. But I do feel like with my hero, it's in its second war arc. And we just need someone to bite the bucket in a dramatic way at this point. Because
Yeah, for
otherwise,
me, it's that we've had too many people that should have that didn't. So
yeah.
now, like, I need some consequence. Like, you can't show me this tiny, crippled old man get a fist through his gut, and then they're just like, "Oh, I'm good. Doctor Birdo was here, and I'm fine."
Honestly, Gran Torino is more annoying because he's not even dead or alive. He's just unconfirmed.
Just gone.
Yeah. It's like, no, you see, Hori respects our intelligence, and he leaves it up to the reader's deduction that Gran Torino obviously died off screen. It's like, fuck, man. I thought Mirio died of dysentery off screen, so, you know,
Oh,
so
he's
much for
back.
respecting my intelligence. Yeah, he's back. He's
Oh,
recovered.
oh, he's healed. Yeah,
Mm.
he got the shits out. He's good to go.
He got that. He ate that pink sauce, and now he's immune to all diseases.
He's ascended.
God, that fucking trend is
That's why
awful.
he can. That's why he can hold Nichire's beams because he had the pink
Uh,
sauce.
I don't want to wish badly upon someone, but the person who popularized that trend, yeah, just lock your
Apparently,
doors
I
at
saw
night.
earlier today they took to defend themselves. They came on the air and defended themselves. I don't want to read it because I don't give a shit about it, but
Hmm.
it's funny to me that a
I
bunch of
mean,
people are just eating this shit that they don't know what
I
it is.
mean, I guess when the whole bathwater shit happened, I guess we should have known that people will just consume anything if enough TikTok tells them, "Hey, this is good." But yeah, yikes, big yikes.
Yeah, massive.
But one final thing, I like that Genus tries to give Bakugo a speech.
Yeah, he tries to be a friend, tries to be a nice boy.
Yeah, once again, the absolute zenith of masculinity.
Peak of the medium.
Yeah, I mean, he is called Best Genist for a reason.
That's true. There is literally nobody better.
Yep. But okay. Do we want to move on?
Yes, we can jump into the last one, which is Undead Unluck.
Which was raw as fuck.
Yeah, the just rawness and swag merchants. It's all we are in our core. The
Yeah.
shit was so fucking raw. Like I can't even. Undead Unluck is such like a middle of the road thing for me, but this shit was so fucking raw. I cannot deny. I cannot
Yeah.
tell a lie. This was raw as fuck.
Just the whole sequence of Billy making Ruin afraid of him so he can use his ability to heal himself.
Uh-huh.
God, that was so fucking cool.
Yep, and he was just talking all this shit about like, oh, so actually you're the shittier version of Undead, just to piss him off.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he got sufficiently mad enough, he was able to steal his fucking power. Oh, it's so good. That final spread of him with the Unruin written down, and he's healed. Oh my fucking god!
Yeah, because
Shit's so
just
raw.
like just trying to think of what happened. Like he literally intimidated him into giving him his power in the dumbest terms possible. That's so cool. Like, most of the chapter was dedicated to it, so there is not much else. Like we do get sort of Billy's look into Undead, where he's like, "I could never hope to have your power because you're really just a good guy."
Yeah, it was kind of like. It was unfortunate that you ended up being such a fucking good dude.
Yeah, that
The
you.
worst thing that could have happened to me is that you're just a nice guy.
Also, I love the panel where he's like saying, like all dramatically, like I wanted you to despise me, and it's just a panel of Andy having his ass out.
Yep. While Fuko hides her fucking eyes.
Oh my god, he even has like the sensor like pixelation block between his eyes because his nuts are hanging.
Uh huh.
I also like how they beat quote unquote on Ruin, where they basically make it so that not only can he not move, his shadow cannot move.
Yeah, they gave him both the unmove and unchange at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fucking cool.
Yes, really fucking cool. So now comes the question: are we seeing? Is Billy just gonna continue being in the story now? Because last chapter he gave me major death flags for some reason.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't think Billy beats Unruin. I don't think so. I think that. I don't know, maybe I don't have a great theory here actually, but I would just be very surprised if the series ended with Unruin losing to Billy and then they just like fight God and win. Like,
I
at the
guess.
very least, it's going to be a mutual takedown kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because to be
You
honest,
don't
we don't
think?
know exactly how Unruin works. So, I mean, there could be some detrimental side effect to him using it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm always so afraid of theorizing with Undead Unluck because I feel like I know so little about it. So I'll be like, oh, what if they do this? And then someone in the comments will be
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's going
you
to fucking
fool,
light you up. Yeah.
you
Perhaps you should fucking
imbecile.
read it again. And it's like, oh, I'm not going to do that.
Perhaps you should learn reading Oceans. And I just look at it and I like a single tear runs down my cheek as I whisper, no. And I walk out into the night.
Fades into black. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, one, I don't know enough about like all the fucking minutia of the series that to make any firm theory. Also, two, I feel like this is the series of like we just do whatever the fuck we want at any time.
Mm.
So I feel like anytime I make a theory, they're just gonna come out next week and it's just gonna be like, ah, no, no, actually,
Mm.
I've interpreted my power this way, and it just means that
Mm.
everyone else dies, and then it happens. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I stopped trying to make theories when Andy made 3 warriors out of his skin, blood, and bones.
Mm.
That was when I was like, okay, whatever needs to happen is gonna happen, and I'm gonna be along for the ride.
Yeah, exactly. Like Undead Unluck is just good fun. Like that's it. For me, that's all
Yeah, it's just
it needs to be at
it
this
doesn't
point.
take itself more seriously than it needs to, but it also doesn't treat itself like a joke. It has a good
Mm-hmm.
time. It's raw as fuck. It's fun. The characters are good. I'm about it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Is that the end?
That is the end. We have reached the. It's surprisingly, I know, because normally, Jujutsu Kaisen would be here. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, not this week.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's my fucking double spread in Undead Unluck. Unfortunately,
That's your
that's my power.
that's your negator ability. You
Yeah.
just negate fortune.
I just make every rich person poor.
Oh, dude. Can we throw you at Jeff Bezos?
The anti-capitalist power. It's just unfortunately.
Damn. Actually, that's really good.
Yeah, it sure is.
Where have
That'd
you
be a good
been?
power.
All right. I don't know. Like, I've been reading or I've read Call of the Night. If anyone knows it, check it out. That's my recommendation.
Okay.
Just a random thought. Have you seen it around? Have you read it?
I have not heard about it at all until you started tweeting about it.
Okay. Yeah, it's like this. It feels very incel core. You know,
Okay.
like, oh no, I'm just a little guy, and there are women who want me, but they're also super powerful. And it's sort of like, okay, but it's like actually good romance for a lot of the time, and then halfway through it turns into Dragon Ball, and it's the greatest shit ever. Like, this is a bit of a spoiler, so if anyone's listening who is into Call of the Night, close your ears. But like like it's just this love dodecahedron between this guy and like multiple vampire ladies, and then halfway through, suddenly he manifests vampire powers for like a limited time, and then he almost like punches a guy's skull off, and then punches him through a building.
Jesus.
And then they're like, okay, now we have to go and like train your vampire transformation, because now there's like an actual genuinely scary main villain who's like this ancient vampire lady who's been like making vampires for like 400 years. So you have to go and beat her now. And the main character goes from like, a meek harem protagonist kind of guy who's like, oh, I don't know, to, oh my god, I want to fucking kill this person. Yes, sir. It's the greatest shit ever. It caught me off guard so hard.
That's
Like
fucking hilarious.
yeah, like you go from this kid going like, oh, I don't know, I don't understand kissing, to I will literally split your skull in two if you talk to my friends badly ever again. It's peak. It's so good.
That's fucking fire.
Dude, the fucking stories that emerge when some guy just wants to draw titties. This is
That's the goal.
that's the
Just
goal.
gotta get it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my final anecdote / recommendation for the week.
Okay. Yeah, go read that.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and leave your recommendations for Oceans in the comments so I can get 478 comments on this video that say begging you to read Yozakura Family.
I see them every time.
Every week.
And you may not. I know it doesn't show when I do it on someone else's channel, but I do like those comments every time.
Oh god. And with that, we will see you next week.
Yep. See you around, fellas.